What's up, guys? We are back. This is Beat the Line broadcast, episode 32, UFC 302. I'm your host, Pegasus Picks, also with Key3Picks, Dravhy. Obviously, did a quick look video last week. Here we are breaking it down, all three of us, like we should be. These two guys, where were you guys last week? Just a quick question. Where was everyone last week?
Doing
It was a
real
week
life shit.
off, bro.
Oh,
It was
week
a week
off.
off,
Week off. Guys, remember, a week off. Remember who
but
took
yeah,
the week
we
off?
didn't take no week off because me and Key were on Dub Club posting bets and doing tapes for this card and next card. So you already know our members got some bets, but
You'd
since
only
you
know
know
that if you're in their
stuff,
dub club. So please join. Right? That was the
yeah,
early
we're,
part.
we're
be in
still
there.
working. We're still working. Don't worry, Papi.
So now you guys don't get a plug at the end of the video. Decided to do it at the beginning. It's exactly
I'm
what
still
fans
plug.
wanted. All right, let's get into this. I mean, this is going to be an interesting card for sure. Lines are kind of getting crazy here. First fight of the night, Andre Lima versus Mitch Raposo. Andre Lima, he's 25, 5'7", with a 67-inch reach. Mitch Raposo, obviously coming back from Ultimate Fighter and Dana Contender Series. He's 25, 5'5", with a 64-inch reach. Odds on these gentlemen right now, you get Mitch Raposo plus 202. You can get Andre Lima minus 190. Drop, break this down for us first. What do you think? You think Raposo is going to put the boxing together or get the takedowns early to beat Lima with all the wrestling? Or how do you think this goes?
I think that's a good fight, by the way. Like, I know it's kind of short notice for Raposo, but if you look on his Instagram, the dude's ready for UFC. Like, he's been at Extreme Couture, UFC PI, and he's around good people, and he travel a lot, like to go in good gym and to train with good guys. So he's training with good flyweight too. So I think he belong in the UFC. I was impressed with what I've seen on tape. So obviously, you have to be a little bit careful because it's against lower level guys, but still, I mean, the guy has good footwork, good movement. He's fast. I was impressed with his speed. He has some power for a flyweight, like he sends some people out cold. Um, and he has decent wrestling. I know he has a wrestling background, so he can land some takedowns. I don't like his top control, but I think his wrestling offense is good. Like, he's probably going to be able to get a takedown or two here. Lima, I think he has good BJJ. I love his get up game, but I don't think his takedown defense is the best. So I can see Raposo getting a takedown or two here. I'm pretty sure he's gonna make the fight competitive. Lima, I'm high on him. He's a good kickboxer. He has power, opportunistic BJJ. Like I said, good get up game, good grappling. He has good guillotines, and he's crafty off his back. Raposo, he just got his BJJ black belt, and he's been putting the work in. Like, the kid is young. He was, I think, 21 years old when he fought Adley. The fight was very competitive. I think he won the first round against Adley. I know he probably don't think the same, but I think he was on his way to win this fight, to be honest. Like, he was young, and I think he improved since then. But I really see him having good ceiling in the UFC. I think he has top 15 potential. Lima's going to be bigger than him. He fought better competition. I think Lima is an elite chin. I'll say that's probably underrated as of now. But the elbows that he hit in his last fight, that was crazy. So I like Lima as a fighter overall. But to me, this line is a little bit too wide. I think Raposo's the money line side. I feel like the fight's gonna go the distance. So if you don't want to pick a side, you just go 5 goes or you go with the over 2.5. But my pick is Lima by decision, but I think the value is on the underdog here.
Key, you want to go next?
Yeah, I think I think that this is a Lima spot. I personally can't get behind backing him at these odds. Drive gave a pretty good breakdown. I do disagree. I think that Hadley is winning that fight regardless. But Raposo is good. It's just he's a really tricky case because outside of his losses, you don't really know how good he is because of the level of competition. I mean, he's fighting complete cans in CES and doing what he's supposed to do, looking good versus those guys, knocking them out cleanly. I like his movement. I like his boxing, but I don't. I can't confidently back him at these odds. If it gets wider, if it gets wider, I think that you can potentially make the argument to play him. But 11 days notice or whatever it is, at plus 250 or more, maybe I'm inclined to play him. But at plus 202 right now, I'm good. I also wouldn't parlay Lima, so this is probably just going to be a complete pass fight on me. I'm pretty high on Lima, and the jury's still out on Raposo. So if Raposo has a good showing, I do think that he is a guy that gets wins in the UFC, though. I do think that he will be here for a while. So I'm excited. This is a good fight, low-key banger to start off the card. So I'm definitely excited for this opener.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it's dog or pass here. Plus 200. I mean, plus 225. I'll probably end up playing Raposo. He'll have success with the wrestling, I think. I know we've seen before. We looked in tapes, obviously. Andre Lima on the ground doesn't really settle or anything like that. He's good at, playing a butterfly guard, constantly moving. So I don't think the top time will be significant for Raposo. But I think he'll have the takedowns there if he needs them in the round. And I think the boxing of Raposo has improved a lot from where he was in the Ultimate Fighter to now. So I think guaranteed, I think the pick's got to be the dog here. I mean, Andre Lima was getting taken down by Igor in his last fight until he got bit. So I don't know. I think you got to play the dog here, but I'm not confident enough to put any money on it yet. Next fight. Jocelyn Edwards versus Aylin Perez. Jocelyn Edwards, she's 28, 5'8", with a 70-inch reach. Perez, 29, 5'5", with a 66-inch reach out of Goat Shed. Jocelyn Edwards, plus 160 to plus 155. Aylin Perez, minus 185 to minus 200. T, you obviously know you're going to start off first. What do you got for this low-level girls fight?
Yeah, sadly, this isn't one that I can get hyped over.
Really?
I mean, honestly, I got hyped over fucking Carlene Chandler and Jaylene Robledo on regionals.
I mean, Key, there's a lot of ass in the cage.
This isn't good ass. This isn't good ass. I'm passing on this ass if I see it in real life. I think that this is
there's a lot of them.
This is a dog or pass spot, though. I think that Aileen, she's probably going to wrestle here. I'm not trusting a Goat Shed game plan. I think that gym is low-key a meme. It seems like they're just getting a bunch of meatheads in the gym and just fucking like rolling 24/7. I'm not a believer in Perez long-term. Also not a believer in Edwards. If you got Edwards upwards of plus 200, I can't blame you. But it's just not something that I'm passionate about. Sadly, for the first time, a low-level women's MMA fight that I'm not passionate about. But I just can't. Edwards is low volume. She has the tools and physicality to be just damn near a Terminator. But she just doesn't put it together. She's got away with some robbery. She's been robbed herself before. It's just weird shit all around. Perez is probably going to wrestle. Edwards is low-key a fish off her back. If Edwards doesn't create early damage super early, whether that be with the elbow in the clinch, a cut happening, or some sort of stun, I think that she might be in for a long night full of wrestling practice. So this is a pass fight for me.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree. I think if Aylin Perez gets the takedowns, she'll look like the favorite. But if it stays on the feet, I think Edwards will definitely look like the favorite. My way, I'm waiting to see what the Edwards plus 3.5 line is, because I could see Edwards
200.
Huh?
Minus 200.
Minus 200. All right, so no bet. I have no bet on this fight. No interest in betting it. Probably dog or pass here, but Aylin Perez will look minus 300 if she gets Jocelyn to the ground. If Jocelyn keeps it on the feet with the leg kicks, I think she'll be able to win a decision. But I have no bet here. Dravhy, you got anything?
I have a max bet on Edwards money line.
Yeah. So no one's got a bet on this fight.
Yeah, no, but to be honest, I don't really know what to think about this one, but I have some things to say though. It's very tricky because, like he said, Edwards has some too. Like, she's big for the division. She's a pretty decent striker, but she just never separates against anybody. And then her takedown defense is average. It's not like the best, but it's not garbage. And but her get up game suck, bro. Like suck ass. Like when she get taken down, like she doesn't have a good get up game. It's very, very bad. She's not easy to finish on the mat. And I don't think Perez is a good finisher on the mat though. She doesn't have good ground and pound. She doesn't know how to put the hooks in. So, and I also think Perez is kind of a quitter a little bit. Like she's good. She has good wrestling. Don't get me wrong, decent cardio, but I don't think she loves facing adversity. Like we saw it in her debut, but we also saw it a little bit in in her last fight. Like after the first round, we kind of we were seeing the turn switch. You know, I don't know how to say that, but we're seeing like the Pedulova kind of taking over a little bit, and I feel like Perez gonna get finished in round three sooner than later. Maybe it's not Edwards, but you know, Edwards round three is plus like 2,000. Um, bro, it's a tricky fight. Like striker versus wrestler, if I can say. Perez like shoot a lot of takedowns. She's probably gonna get the takedowns early, but I don't think she finished Edwards. So if she doesn't, I don't think she's gonna be able to get her down in the third round when she's tired. So if Edwards stopped the takedown and started to piece her up on the feet, I feel like it's gonna be like maybe she finished her late, you know. So it's very tricky, and one of them is almost minus 200. So it's clearly dog or pass, but it's like, do I really want to put my money on fucking Justin Edwards? Not really, you know. Like I don't really want to, but I'm watching the line. If she go up to like plus 200 again, maybe I'm gonna throw a unit on her. I'm not too sure. I'm not too confident, but I'm pretty confident that she's the side. And I think Perez is breakable. And also, there's some bad blood here. Like they already had a fight at the UFC PI.
Yeah,
Perez had a black eye. With what I've heard and what I've seen, Edward beat her ass. So
yeah.
but yeah, I feel like if you look on it on her Instagram, Edward looks to be taking it very seriously, very like good shape and a lot of training and everything. She's working a lot on her grappling recently. I want to be shocked if Edwards is able to just get her back when she's tired and finish her, and you have big plus numbers for that. So yeah, it's a tricky fight, but overall, I think it's dog or pass, and I'm leaning pass. But yeah, I have some interest in Edwards money line. I just think it's nasty to play it.
Yeah. Also, we got to forget the OnlyFans fade. You forgot to add that angle. I believe Aylin Perez is on that site, so the fade could be big here.
Yeah, she is for sure. She loves to talk about it.
All right, next fight. Mickey Gall versus Basil Hafez. Mickey Gall is 32, 6'2 with a 74-inch reach. Basil Hafez is 32, 5'11, 72-inch reach. You guys have been in a grappling match against each other in Jersey in the past. Hafez won that.
That was right like now, 10 years ago, though.
Yeah, it is what it is. They are the odds right now minus 285 on Hafez, plus 245 on Mickey Gall. Drav, what do you think? Do you think Basil Hafez has the wrestling and ground and pound and knockout power to finish Mickey Gall here?
To be honest, Peg, fuck this fight for me. Like, I'm going to let you break it down. I think Hafez is going to win. I think he has more power, more active, and Mickey Gall, 2 years layoff, injuries, everything. I don't want anything to do with it, but I think Hafez should find a finish here. I think we all did bet him against GDM at like plus 500 or something.
Yeah,
he looked good there, but that was short notice. I know he gassed out. He's training with Gagey elevation, so you know he's gonna be in good shape here, full cam. So I think he's gonna look better than his last fight. He has the power to put him out, but I think the KO line got smashed, and that's probably accurate because yeah, I just don't know because on the ground I feel like it could be a little bit tricky. I'm sure he's gonna talk about it. I don't have a good read on it. I think Hafez is gonna win. Probably by knockout, but yeah, I'm not too passionate about it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think too. I think Hafez is live to finish him on the feet. Obviously, Mickey Gall holds his head high. His striking has improved over the years. It looked a little bit better versus Mike Mallet. He was beating up Mike Mallet, making him bleed on the feet until he got fully folded like a lawn chair. Once I saw that happen when I was taping it, I was like, okay, so we know Hafez has a chin. We know he swings hard, and this guy's Mickey Gall is very hittable. I think the KO is going to be there all day. I also think on the ground, you see Mickey Gall's okay with playing in his own guard and grappling. So Basil Hafez will have no problem getting top time on him. He's also a decorated black belt. I don't see him getting subbed anywhere. I think the ground and pound will be there. I kind of gave this breakdown in my video last week for the first look. Mickey Gall's also coming off of a surgery from 2 years. It was a back surgery too. So I would not even think about betting Mickey Gall here. I think this is a Basil Hafez. Thank you for stepping in on short notice and fighting JDM and making it an entertaining fight. We're going to give you Mickey Gall, smash him up, and then call out who you want next. So I'm going to probably play Hafez by KO. I know the line got smashed while I was playing golf today, so I missed it. But hopefully commercial books will meet me somewhere in the middle. We probably won't get plus 750 or plus 800 on commercial books. We'll probably get like 600. I'll play that there. And I'll probably be looking at an angle for his inside the distance as well. Because the sub is possible because obviously both these guys have grappled before. But I don't know. I think this is a Basil Hafez inside the distance spot. Key, what do you think?
Yeah, this is a LFA fight, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't know, like, are you trying to push Hafez? Like, why would you sign Mickey Gall back? Like, I have a lot of fucking questions, honestly. I don't rate either guy highly. Sucks for all the guys who bet Hafez at wide numbers versus JDM. That feels like a bet that's supposed to cash.
Fuck off, bro.
But I really don't give a fuck about this fight, honestly. I think that Hafez wins. But I'm not exactly it's hard to put juice on a guy who I can't like envision the way that he's gonna win and how I don't have a clear game plan even in my own head for him of what he's gonna do to Mickey. So yeah, I think that Hafez overachieved in his debut. So it'd be interesting to see the lines that we get on him after this fight and who they match him up with. But I expect Hafez to win, but I'm not playing this fight.
Yeah, it's fair. Beg, we don't hear you.
There you go. I was asking if my mic was on. All right. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I like this fight. I think it's gonna be a pretty big spot for Hafez.
He's like, confident. I agree. I like this fight. Me and Key's like, fuck this fight.
I'm pretty confident in Hafez. Hafez KO is probably one of my more favorite spots in this card.
And you didn't play it.
Dude, I was golfing, bro. It's Memorial Day weekend. I was out doing it. What's it there? It's all right. I'll get it on commercial books. Don't worry. I'll figure it out. I always do. Next fight is a rematch. Nico Price versus Alex Morono. Nico Price is 34, 6 feet tall, with a 76-inch reach. Morono, on the other hand, 33, 5'11", 72-inch reach. We know history doesn't repeat itself in this sport, as Dravhy would say, even though it has. Does Alex Morono just piece up Nico Price and continue the job he was doing in the first fight and win this handedly, or is Nico going to pull some shit out his ass and knock out Morono?
This is my Super Bowl. This is my main event. Fuck Islam. Fuck Dustin Poirier.
Whoa.
Yeah, I've said it. Fuck a guillotine. Fuck a submission. Fuck jiu-jitsu. These are two men. They're going to fucking bang.
Great fight.
Fuck out of here. I'm about to see the greatest athlete of all time, Alex Morono, bounce up and down, looking like a dad, and jab Nico Price's fucking face off. That is about to be the best shit I've ever seen in my life. Honestly, I think that Alex Morono 30-27 him or he KOs him. Nico Price is unreal levels of cooked. I don't think that people understand. I bet Phil Rowe against him back in late 2022. I bet Robbie Lawler against him in that fight. We saw what happens. That low-key looked fucking fixed, but I don't care. Nico, it seems like it feels like he left a piece of him, like the rest that he had left of himself in that Phil Rowe fight. He didn't even end up winning a round there, but he was pouring it on at times. But then in the third round, he just completely gave out. It felt like his body and his brain just absolutely quit on him. This guy's been in war after war. The knee surgery seemed to have zapped all of the little bit of athleticism that he had left. This guy just is a complete shell of himself, honestly. I know he has a shit ton of kids. I know that he's trying to feed his family. So this is probably just grabbing my last few paychecks on the way out type of thing for him. I don't buy into him wrestling here. I think that Morono could gilly him. But honestly, I think that Morono KOs him. He should have KO'd him in the first fight, and he was looking good up until that shot at the end of the second round that put him out. Morono has a funny chin, but I just simply don't think that Price is athletic or fast enough to be touching guys at this level anymore. I think Morono's a minute winner. He's going to have the better jab. The jab was money in the first fight. It's going to be money again. I think that Nico is just absolutely cooked, and I don't think that people understand it. So, yeah, I'll be looking to play some spread, KO, and some prices that I have targeted. Another shameless Dub Club plug, but yeah. So that's the way that I'm looking for this fight. But Price as a dog shot to me is absolute dog shit.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think you broke it down perfectly. I think this is a pretty clear spot that Morono's going to do the same thing he did last fight. And if he doesn't finish him, he'll probably just win a pretty decisive decision. Dravhy, do you have any difference here? Do you see anything that we might be missing?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's really like the first fight. The way Morono was out cold it's just hard to watch this and be like he was out. Like, that was bad. I'm sure, Peg, you didn't run it back, don't you?
Oh, I ran it back. I watched that one. That was actually the only tape I pretty much did watch, because you kind of have to watch a rematch fight if you're going to take the two fighters.
It's fucking weird because like Price is washed, but I don't think Morono has been looking good recently. I don't think he's washed, but I think he's on the decline a little bit, Morono. I think he's a little bit chinny. And the last thing to go in your career is the power, So I think Price still has the power to put him out. But Morono is so much better at this stage of his career. Like you said, the jab's going to be landing. If Price tried to wrestle, he might get submitted. I think they're going to stand and bang. Maybe the under 2.5. If you can have a good line on that, you cover Morono sub, Morono KO, and Price KO, which is his path to victory. I have a question for y'all. What do you think about do you think the price is good for Price by KO1 at plus 1,000?
No, waste of money.
I think that he has to get it. I think he has to get Morono tired and sloppy for him to find the kids. Similar to the first fight, I think he has to wear on him a little bit before he finds the shot, if he does.
Yeah, that's fair. It's just I just have a weird feeling about this fight in general. I think Morono's gonna piece him up bad and probably find a knockout. I'm just not too confident. Price, he just has been looking bad recently, so I don't want anything to do with him. But I don't want to lay minus 200 on Morono that barely beat Court McGee. Court McGee,
that was a bad showing. I did see that one.
I mean, Court McGee looked washed before Morono. He looked bad,
and he looked competitive there.
And then they have a competitive fight, so maybe the same thing happened here, and they have a competitive decision. Who knows? But yeah, I'm passing this fight overall. I think Morono win probably by finish, but the price was not. I was expecting plus 300, plus 350 on Morono KO. It's plus 250. I don't think it's good.
No value there.
But yeah, he should get this done.
Even the inside of distance plus 105. That's kind of an angle I was looking at, because I like also the sub of Morono, but I don't know. Plus, there's no value on his finish, to be honest. He kind of screwed us on this fight. I don't think there's any value anywhere. Let's move to the next one. Next one I think is going to be a very interesting fight. I actually like this fight a lot. It's Phil Rowe versus Jake Matthews. Phil Rowe is 33-6'3" with an 80.5-inch reach. He's fighting Jake Matthews, a South the Kid, who's 29, 5'11", with 72-inch reach. Line on these two fellas right now, Jake minus 160, Phil Rowe plus 140. I'll start us off here just because I played Jake Matthews minus 115 early. I think Jake Matthews is very good on the ground. Obviously, he came into the UFC as a submission grappler, and he's slowly looked better and better with his striking. Whether it was, I think it was really the Fiala fight that really kind of showed me like, wow, okay, he actually put his boxing together, put his hands together. Phil Rowe, on the other hand, like I can't remember if I bet Neil Magny last fight or if I had Phil Rowe and he screwed me. Well, either way, that fight was just like, it just showed horrible fight IQ. I mean, he was winning at distance, but then was clinching against a guy who you never want to clinch against. Everyone knows that. I don't know what he was thinking there. I think Jake Matthews may struggle with the range of Phil Rowe early. Phil Rowe's jab is very nice. He uses that jab very well and the length well. He could struggle early, but I think Jake Matthews has no issue crashing the pocket. He's definitely the more dangerous striker. When it comes to submission grappling, I think Jake Matthews still has the edge. Even though Phil Rowe is doing all these competitions and stuff like that, I still would take Jake Matthews on the ground over him. So 2 ways to win. With a low IQ of Phil Rowe, I think Jake Matthews is the clear side here. Obviously, the line agrees with me at this point, but I don't know. That's kind of my views on the fight. Anyone have anything different? I feel like you probably will, Drav.
I want to bet Rowe, but I'm not sure I want to pull the trigger. I'm pretty confident that the values on him. It's just weird because he dropped the first round against a lot of people. And what made me pass on him right now is the leg kicks aspect. I know Matthews is not like a leg kick skater or anything, but Rowe, I mean, the fight that he was getting his leg beat up against Gabe Green, that was a bad look to me. Like his leg were destroyed. He never won a decision. But on the other hand, I think Matthews is weird to cap. Like he's losing some fights I thought he would win, and he's beating guys that are not good or not UFC caliber. You know, his win recently are over Darius Flowers, Andre Fiallo, Diego Sanchez in 2020, Emil Weber Meek, Robson Ackman, Shinjo Anzai, and then he beat Lee. That's a good win. But and he lost to good guys. The only loss that I just don't like is him getting fucking destroyed by Matthews Semmelsberger. He got like dropped 3 times in that fight. That was a bad look. I think Matthews is he's low-key a little bit chinny. And Rowe can pack a punch, you know. He's good at range. He has good straight down the pipe from with his right hand. And he has long arms, opportunistic BJJ, and we have seen Matthews getting submitted at time. So in this fight, I feel like if Rowe hurt him somehow, I feel like he's gonna roll a dart or something. That's kind of what I think. But if the fight goes over, Matthews probably having success on the inside, in the pocket with his boxing and with the leg kicks at distance. But yeah, I feel Rowe he gave up the first round a lot, but he come back late in round 3 like a motherfucker at times. So I feel like he's gonna drop the first round like he normally does. He's probably gonna win round 3. Matthews slowed down a little bit at time, so it's gonna come down to round 2 if the fight goes the distance. Then I feel like it's gonna come down to if Matthews kicks his legs early. If he does, I think he win. If he doesn't, I feel like he's gonna lose. So I don't really want to get involved in this, but I feel like Rowe is the side at the odds. Rowe by sub is not a bad look. And I love what I'm seeing on Rowe Instagram. He looks to be in good place of mind, training a lot, really good place mentally, and just a guy that's putting the work in the last couple months. And I feel like he really wants his back. He really want to win since the Magny fight. He got a lot of hate for that fight, and I feel like he's coming for vengeance. So I think Rowe gets his done, but yeah, I'm not confident enough to play him at plus 140. So I'm gonna see where the line goes and see what they gave me for the sub prop on the other books, but I'm not like passionate about it. I feel like that's kind of a shit show.
Key, anything to add here?
Phil Rowe can look like a UFC champion one fight and look like a fucking amateur the next. I honestly have no desire to bet this fight. The matchups for this card is just like,
crazy.
I don't understand it. On an Islam headliner too.
Wait till we get to our next one. Our next one is just like a meme.
Like this is just so uninspiring. Phil Rowe, him not winning the Neil Magny fight is like like I can't even put into words how like insane that was to just clinch whenever you're piecing. Like it's mind-boggling shit. Yeah, he's getting older. Jake Matthews, younger guy. I think that Jake Matthews is a little chinny himself. I don't think that Rowe's that damn durable either. Both guys are good front runners, but they're terrible nails in my opinion. I just don't have a desire. Early on, early Matthews line looks okay to me, but to me, you can't confidently back either guy here and just know that they're going to win. Rowe has a lot of physical advantages, but refuses to use them. I also think that Rowe's a complete head case. He talks a lot of shit. He gets flustered by a lot. It just seems to be his personality. But I think he's a great front runner, but just not the best fighter in general. So this is a complete pass fight for me.
Yo, I just got to ask you, what did you get up to this weekend, Key, that you got sombreros behind you?
My girl's Hispanic, but I'm at my parents' house. So
gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha.
So it's
Your
just
girl's Hispanic, so you have a sombrero, just the
You
family
know,
parties.
Hey, I've been outside. Let's just say that, Peg.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to our next one. Grant Dawson versus Joe Solecki. How fucking exciting. Grappler versus grappler. Grant Dawson's 30. He's 5'10 with a 72-inch reach. Joe Solecki is 30 years old. He's 5'9 with a 70.5-inch reach. Line these two fellas. Grant Dawson minus 415 yet again. And Joe Solecki plus 345. This is another grappler versus grappler matchup. Drav, you want to start us off on this one, or Key, would you want to start off? Actually, Key, start us off on this one. What do you think about this exciting grappler versus grappler matchup?
Yeah, I got Solecki at plus 350 early on.
Love it.
I'm not like, just tell me, how is Grant Dawson gonna justify a minus 450 price tag against anybody who understands what Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is? And at that, Solecki's actually an actual good grappler. So this isn't a levels fight on the ground. I understand Dawson's performance against Demir was impressive. But I mean, we're getting put in bad spots against fucking Ricky Glenn and then getting just absolutely, just put to sleep by Bobby Green in the first minute. I mean, are people really out here parlaying and playing straight a guy at this type of juice who isn't durable? It seems to be just the elite front runner. Like
he'll quit also. He kind of has quitter in him. So
yeah. So I'm not. To me, it's just like it's a numbers game. Am I happy to bet Joe Solecki against my fucking grandma? No. But I mean, am I happy to fade Grant Dawson at minus 450? Yes. So this is more of a numbers bet for me, sort of a system play. I hope Solecki gets it done, but I'm pretty confident that regardless of the outcome, outside of him just insta-subbing Solecki, which I don't see happening, Dawson's he's not justifying this price tag. So I think I'll be pretty happy with this bet, win or lose.
Yeah. It's so funny you say that because I was actually looking at this fight, and the only reason I haven't bet plus 350 yet is because I was kind of waiting for a better line. I've been watching it all day, but I was actually looking into Solecki's sub prop also, just because all this guy is going to do, Grant Dawson, is try and train wrestle, and it's just going to cause constant grappling exchanges. And I think that Grant Dawson, we've seen him get stuck in certain headlock things against who was it? Ricky Glenn, I think it was on tape. And Grant Dawson can get subbed, and he will get tired later on in fights. Not that Joe Solecki won't, but I think he's just the better grappler here. And I think plus 700 on the sub, because realistically, do you see Joe Solecki knocking out Dawson or winning a decision? Or if he wins, does he win by sub? How do you guys see it?
I mean, Dawson is chinny, so I don't want to like erase.
So you play inside the distance instead of straight sub prop at plus 700?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I think that's kind of how you have to bet this. You cannot be. I was waiting also because I think people will see the name Grant Dawson and throw him in the parlay with Islam, throw him in the parlay with Alex Morono minus 200 and be like, oh my God, this looks great. And then who's going to drop the ball? It's going to be Grant Dawson. Drop. Anything different for you?
Yeah, the only thing is the cardio concern is a little bit. I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't think he has bad cardio. Like he shit the bed against Glenn, he looked horrible. But if you look in his career, like he has a lot of round 2, round 3 finishes in the UFC. Like he finished Mark Madsen in round 3. He finished Gordon in round 3. He finished Santos in round 3. He finished Miner in round 2. He finished Trajano in round 2. He finished Diaz in round 2 on Contender Series. So he has a lot of round 2, round 3 finishes. That's where he got his finishes. So I don't think his cardio is as bad as what people think because of the Greek Glenn fight, but the market is not taking this into consideration at all because he's minus 400, But I just feel like Dawson is just a better fighter overall than him. Like he's 8-1 in the UFC after all, and he's, when he gets his game going, he has a pretty good body triangle. And I think Solecki accepts bottom position a little bit too much. That's probably why Dawson's a big favorite, fought better competition. Like he has better wins, obviously. 8-1 in the UFC. He can win by decision, sub, TKO, ground and pound, something like that. I feel like Solecki kind of need to finish to win here. I don't think he's going to control Dawson. But yeah, I'm not as high on Dawson as everybody is. So obviously, I think it's dog or pass. Solecki's plus 350. I think it's a no-brainer if you look at the money line. But I feel like there's some interesting way to play it. Like I just talked about, Dawson round 2, round 3. Dawson round 2 sub, Dawson round 3 sub. It's pretty big numbers. You can get round 2 sub at round 2 sub for Dawson. You can get plus 1,500, and you can get plus 2,200 for round 3 sub. That's something that he does a lot. So yeah, maybe you just swear on Solecki and finish him as the fight goes on, but it's kind of hard for me to see him finishing Solecki, who's a good BJJ black belt. Maybe you just slam KO him. Who knows, huh? Right? Never happened to him before, so. But yeah, overall, I think Dawson win. Probably a decision, but I'm not confident about this fight. I think it's dog or pass. I don't think Dawson's a guy, like he said, you want to lay minus 400 on. That's for sure.
No, Dawson by decision is minus 110. I think that even that's kind of.
Yeah, no, you don't play that, obviously. That's my pick for the fight. But if you like Dawson, I think you chill with, you go like 0.25 round 2, 0.25 round 3, and then you play 0.25 round 3 sub plus 120 plus 25 unit 0.25 unit round 2 sub. Like you do the combo. I think that's how to play.
Like that, you got a full unit on Grant Dawson.
Yeah, but if he gets a round
crazy odds,
you got like what 10 units profit, maybe something like that. So I think it's
something crazy. Yeah, something crazy. I agree. Next one. All right, let's go to our next fight here. Next one's an interesting one. Next one is Roman Kopylov versus Cesar Almeida. Roman Kopylov, 33, 6 foot with a 75-inch reach. Cesar Almeida is 36, 6'1" with a 74-inch reach. Gentlemen, right now, would you look at that? Cesar Almeida has flipped to being the favorite. He's minus 112. Roman Kopylov is minus 108. Drav, break this fight down for us first. Who's going to win this kickboxing match? We just had wrestler versus wrestler for the last fight with Dawson and Solecki. Now we have kickboxer versus kickboxer. Who's the better kickboxer?
Yeah, that's one fight I have a lot to say about. I think that's a good matchup from the UFC, first of all. And yeah, of course, I think it's going to be a most likely striking match. I think Almeida is a better striker, first of all. So that's the first thing. And the other thing is, I think the leg kicks from Almeida is going to be a big problem for Kopylov here. The last time that Kopylov fought a glowy kickboxer, it was Carl Robinson. He did struggle with leg kicks in that fight, and it was competitive. I think he improved since then. Don't get me wrong, he's better now, but he still struggles with leg kicks. He doesn't check them a lot, and Almeida is going to beat up his leg. Like the way he set up his kick is pretty good, and he has nasty power in it. You can see it in his kickboxing fight. I've watched a lot of them. Like he fought Alex Pereira 3 times. He went 1 and 2. He never got KO'd in kickboxing or in MMA. one of his attributes. I think he has an elite chin, and I think he has very good cardio. Something that's underrated about him because people don't really know that if you look into MMA. But I think his cardio, like I said, is pretty good. But he has a very good chin. Like I saw this dude getting hit back to by a left hook back to back to back by Pereira. Then he got dropped, but he still recovered and didn't get finished. Pereira needed 3 left hooks to drop him. Like that was kind of crazy. And he also lost a close decision against Wiz or Wise. I don't know how to say his name, but I think he's like the best kickboxer in Glory Kickboxing right now. So that he's pretty good. And to be honest, I'm not a kickboxing judges, but I think he won that fight. So yeah, Almeida impressed me. I know people are not as high on him because of his age, but yeah, I mean he's pretty good. Like,
Look at Alex at Alex's age. He's the champion of 2 divisions.
Yeah, and so to me here, I think he has the better cardio than Kopylov. I think he's more durable than Kopylov. I think he has the better kickboxing. I think the leg kick's going to be key for him. I think he has a little bit more power. Maybe it's a hot take here, but Kopylov kind of get his finish as the fight goes on because he kind of wear on people, invest to the body. He's pretty fast. But here, I feel like the opposite's going to happen. Almeida's going to wear on him, beat up his leg, and as the fight goes on, I feel like he's going to get a late finish. Almeida can hurt him. I'm not too sure about Kopylov finishing him. But yeah, I favor Almeida in a decision. I favor him in a knockout. And it's probably going to be a hot take, but I think Almeida has the better ground game of the two. Like I think what he's shown on Dana White Contender Series is he's able to reverse people on the ground. He has decent ground and pound, and he has pretty decent BJJ. So if somehow Kopylov try to wrestle, I feel like Almeida is going to be able to reverse him, and I think he's better on the ground. So Kopylov has a speed advantage here. He has more UFC experience, and he fought better competition in MMA. But yeah, considering just Almeida pressure, durability, cardio, I think Kopylov is the more likely of the two to slow down as the fight goes on. He's gonna get hit by big shot, big leg kicks, and yeah, I think Almeida's gonna get this done. I know the odds are kind of gone now. I play him at plus 134. You can still get plus money on some books. Any plus money is good here. I think he should be a favorite. Best scenario, you get plus 105. I think it's a good bet. Yeah, I feel pretty good about Almeida here. Yeah, and I'm high on Kopylov. The only time I bet against Kopylov was with Fluffy. I bet Fluffy ITD, Fluffy round 2 for a shit ton of money. So thanks for that. And I play Kopylov in like his last 3 or 4 fights before that. So I know the guy. I made a lot of money on him. But look at the striker that he beat and looked good against in the UFC. Even the Ribeiro fight, he almost got knocked out in that fight, but Ribeiro shoot for a takedown.
Yeah, he also quit on the leg kicks. Ribeiro quit on the leg kicks that were working so much there.
Yeah, he had the success with leg kicks too. So yeah, I just feel like the levels of striker that he beat in the UFC are not the same level as Almeida. So it's going to be the best striker that he fought, and I don't think it's the best striker for Almeida that's facing Kopylov, but obviously that's a different sport. He fought best striker, but in kickboxing. But yeah, I feel like he's gonna get this done. But the leg kicks are gonna be very important, and if he invests in the leg kicks early, look at Kopylov after a round, he's gonna be struggling.
Yeah. So the leg kicks I think are what are gonna change this fight. To be completely honest, what stood out for me, Roman's so heavy on his front foot, and oddly enough, for a kickboxer, he does not switch stances all that well. Or kind of at all if you look at tape. But hey, I think the leg kicks are really going to make the difference here. I played Almeida at plus 117 or plus 115, something around there. I love that. I played it for a unit, kind of regretting not playing it for more. You can always add more live once you watch the fight, see how it's panning out. He loses round 1, I'll definitely play him there. Key, anything different for you?
Yeah, I agree with y'all. I played Almeida at plus 133. I'm happy with that bet. I think that Almeida's a side kickboxing match, glory kickboxer. But even if you watch the tape, I think that he is a matchup nightmare striking wise against Kopylov. I think that he'll press forward. He'll find the right hand. His body work is nice. Clench his knees in the clinch. I expect for his right hand to land, and I think the leg kicks are going to be money. I think that Kopylov is a great front runner again, but I mean he's shown time and time again that he's a terrible nail. So yeah, I'm happy to fade him here. I think the Almeida age is like really. If Almeida is 2 years younger, I think that Almeida is probably like minus 150 right now. If we're being honest, I think that the age is like a real turnoff for people, and it was a turnoff for me before tape. But after tape, like it was pretty clear who was the side. So yeah, I think Almeida's a side. I think he's playable up until like minus 140, minus 145. By the time this comes out, I probably will have a free bet tweet out. So yeah, Almeida's a side. I think that he's a good play even at this line now. So yeah.
I agree. I can't believe we're recording this at 9 o'clock on Memorial Day, Monday, and I am like drained. I'm dying here. It's just killing me. Next fight: Randy Brown versus Almeida Zaleski dos Santos.
Super Bowl, my Super Bowl.
I love. Okay. 1 second. Let me give the breakdown. Then we can go into this. I love this fight too. Randy Brown, he's 33, 6'3", to 78-inch reach. Almeida Zaleski is 37, 5'11", 73-inch reach. Right now, odds on these guys. Randy Brown, minus 160. Dos Santos, plus 140. I'm going to have Key go first because I know Key has got a good read on Randy Brown. I'm just going to preface that with I think Almeida Zaleski knocks him out cold. But go ahead. Give us your breakdown, Key.
Yeah, so if you've been tuning in for a while, you know I like Randy Brown. I like long got pause. I like I like taller
lengthier fighters.
I like lengthier fighters that are able to throw out that jab, have good boxing. And he has a wide range of kicks. His teeth up the middle is beautiful. Leg kicks are beautiful. But he does not know what a check is in terms of checking leg kicks for himself. He's so heavy on that front foot. But whenever he's in his flow state, it is just absolutely beautiful to watch. It is like art. But I think that this is a matchup nightmare for him. Zaleski is back on the juice. Same juice he was on for BSD fight. I think that he finds the KO. I played the KO plus 550. That's what Dub Club members got.
I did too.
Plus 550 on DK. I think that was the way to play him. I am debating on if I get to the money line still, because I do think that Zaleski can figure out a way to win a close decision because Brown, weirdly enough, his style looks like it should separate, but he's always one moment away from losing a round. It's so consistent. Like he just gets randomly bonked by something, and it's like he can damn near lose a round after putting together a beautiful round of striking. I don't think that he's going to get takedowns here. Zaleski's takedown defense is great, in my opinion. Yeah. I think this counter wrestling is great. So I don't think the grappling comes into play here unless Brown somehow finds the back or something. But I think that this is a Zaleski KO spot. I know that he hasn't had one in a minute. He probably should have had one in that BSD fight if the ref wasn't a fucking Stevie Wonder. But I think that
almost had one in the Renat fight too with the body shot.
Yeah, with the body kick too. So I think that Zaleski he's the more powerful guy here. Randy Brown is fragile. I'm very, very confident that Zaleski is back on the juice for this final run of his career. We know that the kicks are good. We know that he still has power. I'm rocking with my guy to get the KO. Still, jury's out on if I get to the money line, but KO at anywhere upwards of plus 400, in my opinion, is a good bet.
I think Zaleski's going to be a very popular dog this week. I really do. I think people are going to play him. I think the KO is where the real value is. I can already, like, if I were to picture it, I can already, because Randy Brown, am I wrong if I say I don't really think he has KO power or like he's not that threatening on the feet with the striking, with his hands, not his feet?
He just knocked out Salikov pretty badly.
Dude, he's like 42 years old. It does not impress me at all. What? Because he's the karate guy. He's 40-2, bro. I could probably knock him out if I got one good one on him. But
Bro,
that's
he will spin and kick your ass.
But either way, I'm saying one good clean one on the chin, I think I could probably take it too. But my point is, I can already see if Oleksiejczuk feels the power of Randy and he is comfortable with it, he's gonna have no problem just pushing the pace on him, pushing him up against the cage, and finding the finish there. I feel like I've seen Randy Brown finished up against the cage multiple times for some reason, but I think it's gonna be. I think he's gonna find him. I think he's gonna find the KO here. I'm actually pretty confident in it. So that's what I think. Drav, anything different from you?
Yeah, we all agree here, all on the same side. I think
boring when we do that.
Yeah, but I think this line seems recency bias after the Randy Brown big knockout. Like now, like you said, Zaleski's a popular dog peg. It's not really true because he was like plus 110 at some point, but now people are playing Randy Brown up to minus 160, minus 170, so people are kind of playing Randy Brown now. And I feel like it's just recency bias after his big knockout win. Let's not forget, guys, this dude was always in close fight before that. Close 29-28 decision versus Gooden. He got his legs beat up in that fight. Close 29-28 versus Chaos Williams. I think he arguably lost that fight. Close 29-28 decision versus 43 years old Trinaldo. He arguably lost that fight too. And close 29-28 versus Thurman. Bad luck for not finishing him. And that's also a guy that got knocked out 3 times in his UFC career. So he's a good minute winner. He does a good job with using the jab, nice volume, good footwork. The big cage is going to be good for him here. Good front kicks, etc. That's good. But he struggled against power puncher and guys with good leg kicks. That's what I was looking at in 2 tapes. So he doesn't check leg kicks. He doesn't have a good answer for them. Because of his style, people are taking advantage of that. And ZDS has pretty good leg kicks, and he has nasty power. So it doesn't seem like that's going to end well. We're talking about that. We're talking a guy who knocked out Sean Strickland, the only guy that did it with Alex Pereira. So he has big power. And I don't think him and Brown, I don't think ZDS or Brown has the best chin of all time. But I think ZDS recovery is a little bit better. I think with the fact that he's going to be beating a Brown leg early, it's going to allow him to get in the inside and land some power shot. And this dude is 14-1 to the KO. Let's not forget that. Let's also not forget that he has 2 split decision loss in the UFC, where one of them should be a win, and the other one was very close. So we're talking about a 10-3-1 UFC record, but it could be, in my opinion, it should be 11-2 and 1, maybe, because the Rinat fight, I know some people said that he won, which is fair. So if you give him the Rinat fight with the record that I'm giving him, we're talking about 13-1 in the UFC. So yeah, he's 5-2 as an underdog in the UFC. So he's someone I love to back as an underdog. He's also back on the good vitamins, in my honest opinion, like we just talked about. It's going to help him for his durability and his cardio. I think Brown's going to be looking good, winning minutes with the jab. But then he's going to get his leg beats up. ZDS will be landing. I think he's going to be landing the bigger shot than Brown's. He's going to have the bigger moment. And yeah, I think he's going to knock him out. But I wouldn't be surprised if he wins a decision either, though.
So round 2, round 3 KO, just to add on what you're saying. Round 2, round 3, round 2 KO for Zaleski's plus 1,300. Round 3 KO for Zaleski's plus 1,800. Kind of like those for a sprinkle.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, I like also his knees in the clinch. And if he mix in the leg kicks to compromise the legs early with the power shot on the feet, I feel like he's going to look similar to the Vincent Luque fight, Yeah. So yeah, people just too high on Brown here. I know ZDS is getting older. He's 37, but Brown is going to be 34. He's not much younger. And like I said, he got knocked out 3 times in his UFC career, and he's facing a guy that's going to beat up his leg and has nasty power on the feet and going to swing with him, and he's going to go at it. ZDS is not scared to engage. And Yeah, so to me, he's the side. I'm picking him to win outright. So yeah, Key, I know you love the KO, but you'll be kind of mad if he wins a decision and you don't bet him at plus 150 or whatever it is. Like he has decision equity. Like Browns never separate in decision. Like I said, always 29-28 close decision. So I think in a decision, ZDS is going to be landing the bigger shot and doing more damage, beating the legs up. So yeah, I love the knees and the clinch. Like I said, the leg kicks, the spinning well kick. That's what he got Strickland with. So yeah, I think he's gonna knock him out, but a decision wouldn't shock me. Like it's close in a decision, but I favor ZDS in a finish.
So let's get by decisions plus 330 on DraftKings.
Yeah,
So
but I wouldn't pick between a decision prop and a KO prop. I think the money line is better, but the value is more on the knockout because it's like plus 500.
well, hear me out. Hear me out. If you could do. So I put half a unit on plus 550 for the KO. You could do 25 units, 0.25 on round 2, round 3 KO for him, and then you could put. Hey, you're right. Probably doesn't make sense. I was trying to figure out a way to.
No, I feel like if you have 0.5 unit on the KO and you feel as strong as I do, I think you should put 2 units on the money line. That's what I think, but you do you.
Okay. I'm gonna wait too because I honestly, people see that name Randy Brown. People may just start parlaying him more, so he could be one of those parlay busters too. So I'm gonna keep watching that line, and I kind of have it written down right here. I'm kind of working on what I had, but that first one's dead because it's minus 200. Next fight, you guys could go cool to move on, or you, yeah, okay. Next fight, another one. Woo, grappler versus grappler. Jailton Almeida versus Alexander Romanov. Jailton Almeida is 32, 6'3", with a 79-inch reach. Romanov is 33, 6'2", with a 75-inch reach. So we're looking at those two guys. Right now, the line is Almeida minus 255, Romanov plus 215. Key, you go. Key, you go first here. You see anything special? Do you even want to touch this fight, or are you just gonna watch the battle of the quitters? Are you gonna pick which quitter is gonna fucking quit first? Because I was like, I was a huge Jailton Almeida guy. I was like full on board train. This guy's gonna win the belt. He's gonna smash everyone. It's gonna be unbelievable. I went there live in Miami. I watched my boy smash Curtis Blades for round 1. I was like, oh my god, this is free. I should have put my rent on it. And then what does he do? He holds onto a single leg, gets his ear smashed in, and then quits. I don't even think he was finished there. So, what do you think? Do you think Romanov has the grappling upside to keep Jailton off and make him quit, or is Jailton just going to ride fat ass out?
I think that Almeida is gonna ride him like a fucking horse. Honestly,
KO finish, ground and pound finish, or sub finish?
I'm not sure. I think that it's whatever he decides once Romanov quits. I don't think that Almeida is like an insane quitter. I think that he's a big time front runner. But I don't think that he's this insane quitter. I had like either 5 or 6 units total on him in that fight. Luckily, I cashed some of my bets due to playing Blades under fantasy on apps. And so that's sort of the reaping the benefits and finding value in the ways that I do. But I think that Jailton's still the guy. I think that this line is probably correct. Romanov just doesn't. He's not exciting me in any sort of way. He's a big time front runner, and whatever he's fighting, somebody that has any sort of semblance of grappling. I mean, the Volkov fight is just embarrassing, like just very, very embarrassing. At these odds, I can't blame somebody for taking a shot on Romanov, but I do think that Almeida's the better grappler here. I'm not sure what the striking is going to look like, but I think that Almeida's not. He hasn't shown to be a bad striker. He's shown to be hittable, but he hasn't shown to be a bad striker. He fights to his game plan. I think that he gets it done here. This is a big step down in competition for him after coming off of Blades and Derek Lewis and Rosenstruck for what it's worth. I was there live. I mean, the guy is a walking fucking steroid, if we're being honest. I saw him up close person. He's I mean, just the Brazilian acai poster child. That means a walking juice. So I think that Almeida beats him. But I'm not in any rush to play him on books. If I find some lines on Prize Picks, Underdog Fantasy, or better that pop up that I like, I'll play it. Outside of that, though, I have nothing for this fight.
You think it's interesting that Romanov by submission is plus 2,000 on BetOnline, but plus 600 on DraftKings? Isn't that weird?
Plus 2,000 is kind of wild.
Why would one book give 600 and the other book give 2,000? Unless Play Odds hasn't updated the sub line, that's a possibility. But I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. Why wouldn't you just sprinkle on it just for straight? You have what, 1,400 worth of value, if not more?
Yeah, they did the set plus 750 for the KO for Romanov on DraftKings and plus 375 for the KO on BetOnline. That's big difference between these prop. They don't really know how to set it up.
Who doesn't know? BetOnline doesn't know, or DraftKings doesn't know?
I mean, normally BetOnline is sharper than DraftKings.
That's what I think too. Why would they have plus 2,000 on a sub? I guess Almeida is very good at jiu-jitsu. But, I mean, Romanov is pretty – I mean, that's how he usually wins his sub, right? I mean, he does have decent ground and pound with those hammer fists he throws, but, like, is
King Kong.
Yeah, but is Jailton Almeida really going to get King Kong'd? Like, I don't see that.
Ask Curtis Blade.
I don't know. This is just disgusting. I don't even know what to say about this one. I don't know. I think Jailton's aside here. ITD is minus 150. Which is kind of dirty in itself. Jailton's aside. I haven't figured out how I want to play him yet. I'm going to work on that, but I will try and get a bet on him somehow. Because usually it's like when I bet guys and ride that train and then they screw me and I'm like, fuck this, I hate him. I will never bet on him again. I stay off him the next fight and it hits. So I'm probably going to try and figure out how to play him here. You got anything, Dravhy?
Yeah, I mean, normally when we see something happen recently, like 2 months ago, he got finished by Blades. But the fight after, he come back only 2 months later and he's minus 300. Like, I understand that's a step down in competition, but these dudes are not that much different. Like, they both look for takedowns. They're both super aggressive. They both love to have the fight that they want. They don't love adversity. We've not seen Almeida fought adversity very well either. I know people talking about like Romanov's a quitter, but Almeida, the time that he fought adversity, he quit himself too. So yeah, I don't really know how you can get to Almeida minus 300 or close to it. They have similar style, like I said, same age. Romanov is the bigger guy, being the natural heavyweight. It's gonna be like I think he's the better striker, Romanov here. He's more proven in the stand-up. He's more comfortable. Almeida is not comfortable at all on the feet. And that's also the first southpaw that Almeida is going to be facing here. And Romanov, that's also the only good grappler that Almeida is facing in the UFC. So it's good. To me, it's really gonna be who try to get the first takedown and who gets the first takedown, and win the fight. I think I like Romanov ground and pound better, and if he gets on top, he's a fat dude, so I don't think Almeida's going to like that, and if you just go King Kong on him, I think he's going to finish him. On the Dana White Contender Series fight, you can see Almeida on bottom a little bit. I think Romanov can look good on the ground if he gets on top. He has more variety of sub, too. Like, if you look, Almeida is only going for rear naked choke for the most part. I think they can both land takedowns. Obviously, Almeida has the better cardio, but they both kind of quit when things getting tough, So it happened with Volkov, with Romanov versus Volkov, and it happened versus Romanov, Volkov, and Almeida versus Blades. So yeah, I don't have a strong read on it, but I think Romanov can pick this dude and gets his ass on the ground. Like, we've never seen Almeida people trying to wrestle him. Romanov's like a Greco wrestler, and he's strong and he's big. Like, if he just go for it and he takes this dude down and gets on top, I think he finish him. So yeah, and also Romanov always has been like a big favorite in most of his UFC fight. So it's just hard for me to pass at a price tag like that on him. He just dominated Chris Daukaus in the grappling match too, for the preparation for this fight. Doc is a BJJ black belt. I know he's known as a striker, but he dominate Doc. That was a decent look. So if Romanov can stop the takedowns, I think he can outstrike him on the feet. Um, and I think he can get takedowns of his own. And if he gets on top, I think mentally, you have to think, oh, Almeida's like his first loss ever in the UFC was only 2 months ago, and he's coming back now. So how he is mentally, we don't really know. So yeah, to me, it's a clear dog or pass, and you can get Romanov at like plus 240. I think you want to take a shot on it, go for it, but please don't bet Almeida minus 275 or something. Like, yeah, they're similar, dude. Like, who get the first takedown is gonna win the fight. I'm telling you this right now. And maybe Romanov just slam him. Maybe he slam his ass.
Dude, I was actually thinking about that too. Like, if Jailton,
the dude is slamming people, he's taking people like that, and he's.
He can also, if Jailton shoots, Jailton's like good on the ground once he gets you there. His takedowns aren't like, they're very, I don't want to say basic, but they're very like bread and butter. If Jailton shoots like he does and just dives at legs, and Romanov just catches those, catches 2 underhooks, he'll toss him right over and flip him right over, right on top of him, and turn Jailton's takedown into his own takedown.
Yeah, whoever get on top first is gonna win. But
yeah, so I see what you're saying.
You can lay minus 275 to find out, or you can lay minus 240. Yeah. It's up to you. But I think they both have good BJJ, so I don't think they're gonna get submitted. So fight end by knockout's pretty decent. I think it's gonna be.
What's the under on this?
It's bad. It's like you can get the under 1.5 at like a pick'em. But yeah, either way, I just like you just pick your side. You either go fight hand by knockout if you want to pick a side. Both have good BJJ. I don't think they're gonna get submitted. Or you go on a Romanov money line, Romanov knockout. That's my way to play it. I think he's gonna go. Yeah, I think he's gonna get on top. Almeida's gonna be like, "Fuck this fat dude, man," and he's gonna just King Kong on him, and he's gonna finish him.
So, do you think? I kind of like that too. So, I kind of like that angle you're talking about. Is there a line out for fight ends by KO?
I don't think so, but it's probably going to be around like plus 200 or something.
If that's the case, that's a good bet. I like that a lot. It's just like an alternate way of playing the under, I guess, right? You're playing the under at plus 200, the chance that they sub them. I don't think either of these guys is getting subbed. So I think that's fair. Let's move on to our next fight. Kevin Holland versus Michal Oleksiejczuk. Kevin Holland's 31, 6'3", with an 81-inch reach. Oleksiejczuk is 29, 6 feet with a 74-inch reach. Odds on these two guys, you can get Kevin Holland anywhere from minus 275. He's minus 275, and Michal is plus 235. Key, you love Kevin Holland. You go first. What do you think? You think Kevin Holland subs him or knocks him out? I lean sub.
I think that I'm not sure. I think that he gets the KO. I know everybody loves a good club and sub bet for Kevin Holland. That seems to be like a community fetish. But I mean, to be fair, in this matchup, the grappling levels are wide. Like if Kevin did offensively wrestle or do anything offensively grapple for real, I think that he would look pretty wide. But I think that he probably slugs it out. He's back at 185. I don't like him at 185. I think that the physicality difference is a little too much in a lot of matchups for him at 185. Honestly, it's a shame. I'm one of the biggest Kevin Holland fans. But it sucks to see that like he's having disappointing performance after disappointing performance, it feels like. I mean, he beats up all the old men. Chiesa, Ponzi, Tim Means, Alex Oliveira. Those are his last 4 wins. If we're being honest.
Not impressive.
Come on. I mean, it's just not impressive at all. He probably wins the Wonder Boy fight if he literally just settles on top. He wins the fight, in my opinion. Like, I think he banks a round or two, and he probably saves himself from an absolute ass whooping and then ending up having to call the fight going into the 5th because his hand was broke. I think that the split versus JDM, I still think that he won that fight, if I'm being honest.
I don't think so.
I think that he won the fight, but Kevin Holland, for the first time in his life, decided to be a volume pitter-pat guy instead of sitting down on some shots. I mean, it's just questionable decision after questionable decision. It makes no sense. Like, you're watching these fights, like, wondering, like, what the fuck is his game plan? Like, what is going through his head? But then he'll come out, stop a couple takedowns versus Chiesa and look amazing. So it's just – he's just such a confusing fighter, frustrating fighter, honestly, and frustrating if you're a fan of him. I think that here he gets it done at minus 260, though. I mean, Jesus. I mean, minus 275 now at the time of this recording. That's insane. I can't blame anybody that's taking a Michal spot here. Yeah, I mean, the line it's a numbers game at the end of the day. I think that the line is super wide. But I do think that Kevin gets it done. I'm not exactly sure how this fight looks. I think that he snipes him potentially. But you just never know with a Kevin Holland fight. I probably won't get to a bet unless something pops up on one of the apps. But on books, I have nothing for this.
So it's interesting. So Holland by KO is plus 265. Holland by sub is plus 265. And Holland by decision is plus 255. So they're basically not giving you any value on either of the finishes. Him winning at a distance is minus 120. I don't know. You don't think Kevin Holland would be like wouldn't those lines be like a little bit different between the three since it's such like a variety, or why are they all the same? What do you think, Drav? Why do you think those lines are like that?
It's tricky because Oleksiejczuk got club and sub in a couple of his fights. His last two fights, I think. His last fight, he got club and
did it.
Yeah, so it's very tricky,
right?
Because, I mean, he's 14-1 to the KO, Oleksiejczuk, but he doesn't take his career seriously anymore. He's not at a gym. He's training by himself. It's not a good look. I played Pereira big last time out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he got hurt pretty badly against Shitty. He showed heart in that fight, and he came back and won. The dude's a dog. He's gonna come forward. He has big power. He goes to the body. I kind of love him. I love his style. He's a fun fighter, but he has a very bad ground game though. But are you gonna trust Kevin Holland to wrestle? It's very hard to. Like, he did wrestle a little bit against MVP, but he got his ass beat up in that fight. So if you wrestle here, he's gonna make it look easy. He's gonna cover his price tag. He's gonna submit him pretty easy. But I don't trust him to wrestle. But I kind of trust him to hurt Michal with like a knees in the clinch, elbows on top, or just a straight right down the pipe, something like that. Michal doesn't like getting hit by like knees in the clinch or to the bodies and stuff like that. So I think Holland's a guy that's going to take advantage of that. He's longer than him. He has power. He's more durable than him, and he's the much better grappler. So I understand why he's a big favorite. But I just can't lay a big price like him. I can't lay a big price like that on him, on his money line. So you had to either go the ITD or you pick the KO or the sub. It's very hard for me to pick the KO, considering Michal is pretty good chin, and he fought at 205 and he's not 185. Holland fought at 170 and 185. Yeah, so I think overall Holland's gonna hurt him, and he's gonna Darce his ass. So. Yeah, I think Holland's going to win by club and sub here. He's probably going to hurt him with like knees in the clinch or something like that. And like Michal's a dog. He doesn't really want to quit. He doesn't want to get knocked out. But he don't mind getting sub and giving up the tap. So if Holland won, it's right there. And even if he hurt him, I think he can just roll the sub. And if he doesn't hurt him and he shoot a takedown, he can get the sub. So I like the sub. I'm going to see what my books give me to see what I do here, but I'm probably gonna bet the sub.
Commercial books are gonna give us a better odd than plus 265. I think
commercial for like 2 days. Yesterday.
No, they're not on DraftKings usually gives you the best. I'm not sorry, DraftKings. FanDuel usually gives you the best odds.
It's out on FanDuel for like 24 hours.
Where are you seeing this, bro? I guess
I don't even have the books, and I know
you gotta check the actual websites, Peg. The fight odds is bullshit,
dude. With everything that went on this weekend, do you think I was checking all the books? Do you think I was doing anything anything of importance this
I think
weekend?
it's plus 330 on FanDuel, and
Ooh,
it's plus 275 on DraftKings, and it's plus 265 on Bet Online. So
I like that plus 330 number.
I think since yesterday.
I like that plus 230 number. So we'll wait and see where that ends up. Let's move on to our next fight. It's a co-main event. I actually, when I was taping it last week, I did not even realize they made this a 5-round fight. I don't really understand why they made this a 5-round fight, but it's Sean Strickland versus Paulo Costa. We're talking about Sean Strickland on Memorial Day. Is there anything more American than that? I don't think there is. Sean is 33, 6'1" with a 76-inch reach. Paulo Costa is 33, 6'1" with a 72-inch reach. I'll go first just because mine's quick. I played Sean by decision. It's almost like a system play, kind of like Blonde Fighter by decision was. I think Sean's just going to melt this guy and pepper him, and he's elusive enough and will block the heavy shots that get sent back from Paulo Costa. I don't think Paulo Costa, people will talk about his gas tank. I do think his gas tank's not great, but like Paulo Costa will still, it's never on E with him. It's always on like low fuel, but never at E. So he can still swing and he'll still be in the fight for 5 rounds. He's a hard guy to finish. I don't see Sean finishing him. I think Sean just kind of jabs him to death and melts him. I can't now. You guys just don't even make me trust fight odds anymore. It's saying that the over under is set at 2.5.
It's 4.5.
Okay, because I'm looking at 2.5 minus 170 here, and I'm like that. Yeah, of course, put 4 units on that, but obviously it's not real. I don't know. I think Sean's aside here. Drav, anything different?
Yeah, I wanted to bet Costa plus 205 at first, but after doing like all the tapes, I just can't do it. Overall, I think Strickland has been improving a lot recently. I was able to fade him a couple of times against Cannonier, against Pereira, against DDP. I know the last time we talked about this, Peg, you gave me a lot of shit for betting DDP on this podcast. Yeah, your guy was almost quitting at the end. Like round 3, it was not looking good. But I still love the way that he still came back in that fight after all the blood that he had in his fight and in his face. Like round 4, round 5, he looked good in round 5. And yeah, Strickland since like the easy fight, I think he has been improving a lot. Like him being a champ, I feel like he has been improving a lot. His coach talked about him going into the easy fight to win and going to the DDP fight not to lose, which I understand what they're talking about. In this fight, they don't want to do the same mistake. They're talking about they want to put they want to make sure they win the round. They don't leave it into the hand of judges because man, I mean Strickland's gonna do more volume. He's gonna land a better shot, but if the fight go the distance, I feel like the scorecard is going to be weird because Costa's going to land a bigger shot and he's going to land with power. I have a weird fucking feeling about this fight. I'm seeing Paulo Costa on the pad and on the tapes, and his fucking head kicks and spinning well kick. He can catch Sean Strickland with that, bro. Like, I'm fucking scared, man, dude. Because if you just look, DDP, he had a lot of success with head kicks against Strickland. He was not having success with his hands early, but the body kicks and the head kicks, that's what Costa needs to do here. Like if I'm his coach, I'm like, you go with your nasty body kicks, you pressure him, you don't let him pressure you, and then he's gonna try to jab your face off, so move your head because he doesn't do that often.
He's not gonna do it now, bro. He hasn't done it.
And like but I love his head kick and the spinning well kick. I think he's live to catch him with that. If he wins by knockout, mark my word, it's going to be a spinning well kick KO or it's going to be a head kick KO by Costa, something like that. I'm pretty confident. But I don't think it's likely. I think the more likely outcome is Strickland piecing him up with the jab. Also, I was kind of liking Costa leg kicks, but Strickland does a good job at checking them, so I don't think it's going to be a factor. And yeah, Strickland, he has better cardio. more volume. He's the better boxer. It's going to be a striking match, and I feel overall he's the better striker. He's better defensively. The jab's going to be money. And the 5 rounds make a huge difference for me here. In the 3 rounds, 3 rounders at plus 205, I think I'm betting Costa. Now, in the 5 rounders, I think he favors Strickland a lot. He has a lot of 5 rounds experience. Costa only went 5 rounds one time against Vettori. That was a light heavyweight fight. He came out of shape. I don't think his cardio is that bad as what people think. He still pushed through it, but he's getting tired still. He won the 5th round against Vettori, so I don't think his cardio is as bad. But if Strickland is smart, he's gonna pressure him. He's gonna put him on the back foot. He's gonna go to the body. He's gonna invest with a teep kick. He's gonna go with the jab. And I think as the fight goes on, round 3, round 5, round 3, 4, 5, it's probably gonna be all Strickland. And I think he can pick a finish here in the later rounds. So I'm not sure yet if I want to bet the over 2.5, like you said, on the commercial books. If I want to bet Strickland 3, 4, 5. But yeah, overall, I think Strickland's gonna get this done, but I don't want to play the big money line price for him. Minus 240, I think it is. I don't like that, but I think overall he should win this fight. And like Costa has not beat a lot of people at this weight class that are ranked. Strickland fought the best of the best for the long time, but he's never that big of a favorite against similar opponents, you know. And I love to fade him against guys that hit hard, pressure, and are strong. And that's what Cannonier was, Pereira was, DDP was, and that's why I bet them. So Costa plus 205 is tempting. He looked good against Whittaker in his last fight only 3 months ago, and he's coming back now. Want to be active, look good on Instagram, in good shape. So I think he's the money line side, but I think my pick. I don't think my pick is Strickland. The more likely outcome is decision. But yeah, I think the round 3, 4, 5 is probably gonna get money. It's gonna feed family, as you would say. So I'm gonna see what I do with that. But Strickland to win in round 3, 4, 5 to feed the next generation. Let's get it.
Key, what do you think? And then we'll go to our main event.
Yeah, I think this is a weird fight. Sean Strickland decision, in my opinion, is the way to play this if you want to touch it. But I mean, Costa is just such a weird fighter. I mean, 1-3 since COVID. His one win being Luke Rockhold. I mean, it's just ugly. I feel like this guy's getting by off of literal just like Twitter memes and like just vibes. Like, why is he fighting the former champion fresh off of the former champ's like title loss? Like, that makes no sense to me. I get it. The guy's a name. I guess the community has a fetish for big muscles and secret juice. I'm not sure. Costa's just such a weird case for me. He looks like he should gas, but he doesn't. I somewhat regret not betting him against Whittaker. But I just don't get it with him. I really don't get it. Strickland is jab, teep. Strickland couldn't finish a fucking sandwich if he wanted to. I mean, I don't know. I think that potentially if Strickland has early success, 3, 4, and 5 becomes very live. But if you expect for Costa to look good early, I think that Strickland decision is the way to go. Costa, I just don't really see a path here. He needs guys to get reckless with him. He needs guys that are going to truly fight with him. And Strickland isn't a guy, he's so defensively responsible. I know all the memes and shit, and I don't like him personally, but like, he's defensively responsible. You can't deny that. So he's not going to just sit there and just swing and bang for no reason. And Costa sort of needs that to thrive in a fight. So I think this is a Strickland spot. At these odds, Strickland isn't a guy that you want to back at minus 200 upwards or minus 200 ever, in my opinion. He just doesn't have the finishing upside, in my opinion, to really be justifying price tags like that. He may look wide in a decision, but again, if I'm betting you at upwards of minus 200, I want to be confident that you can finish the fight at a decent clip. Even if you're not a finisher, I want to think that you can at least finish it at a decent clip. So this is a Strickland spot, but I probably won't get to a ton here. But if you're in the Dub Club, then you already know a couple of the spots that we have here. So I'm excited for this Islam and Dustin Poirier fight, though. Peg, you're muted.
So I'm very interested. I'm scrolling through these books. You got Bet Online with 4.5. You got DraftKings with 4.5. You got FanDuel with the over-under is at 2.5. What, like, why would FanDuel be giving a 2.5 line and these other books?
It was 2.5 on DK and FanDuel earlier in the week, but they switched it to 4.5 on almost every book.
Bro, it's at 2.5 right now.
Yeah, but most of the books were 2.5. They switched it to 4.5.
So why wouldn't I take this 2.5 right now? Seems like a no-brainer to me.
But take it. You don't. You
seems like a no-brainer. I just went on Mike and said put 4 units on it at minus 170 over 2.5. I feel like I'm probably going to have an angle here, so I'm going to write that down. And I'm gonna see if I got the balls to do it, but I might.
Talking about balls, let's go to the main event.
Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier. Here we go. We're talking about balls on a throwing darts shot here. Islam Makhachev, 32, 5'10", 70.5-inch reach. Dustin Poirier, 35, 5'9", with a 73-inch reach. Odds on this fight are fucking crazy. Islam is minus 700. Dustin Poirier is plus 500. This is almost giving me vibes like the BSD fight where like we're getting Dustin Poirier at a crazy plus odds. Obviously, Islam's levels above BSD. Where's the value? Where's the value on this line? I think me and Key have one opinion and someone else has another. So let's let Drav start us off. Drav, how do you think this fight goes?
Shine bright like a diamond.
Dude, I love all the videos because
that's how I think, bro.
At plus 500.
Imagine you win the belt, bro. Just imagine.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. So, as a fan, I would love Poirier to win. Like, I had so much money on BSD. I got him at minus 110. He closed minus 200. And even when he lost, I was pissed I lost money. But dude, you got to watch Dustin Poirier go out there and knock someone out as a huge underdog. Like, you can't be upset watching that.
Yeah, but I think you're gonna be upset if you miss on him at plus 500 and he gets it done and be the champion. I mean, it's now or never for DP. You know, either you win and win the belt or you retire. You know, I know people are scared about the retirement talk. For him, I'm not. He's been talking about it for like the last 2 years. He's just open about it. I don't think he changed anything. He talked about it for the BSD fight. He still knocked him out. I didn't play BSD there. I played the over 1.5 and I won by 1 or 2 seconds. But the over or under, let me check. I think I played the I played the over 1.5 and he gets it done by 2 seconds after. That was fucking lucky, bro. So yeah, overall, I mean, Makhachev's a bad matchup for him. Don't get me wrong. He's a beast grappler. He's a good striker. And I love Islam. I bet him big against Volkanovski. I call him to knock out Volkanovski in the second fight. You guys probably remember that. So yeah, I was big on him in the rematch against Volk. He's not a guy that I bet against him often. The last time that I did, I played Oliveira by knockout small at plus 550. I took a shot on that because I think the way to beat Islam is to knock him out. I think that's the way to do it. Already has been done once against a southpaw. I know he improved a lot since then, but the difference between him and Khabib is he doesn't have the same chin as Khabib, but he's a way better striker than Khabib. So I feel like because of that, he's more willing to exchange with people on the feet because his stand-up is good. Like, I love his head kicks, his knees, and I mean, maybe a hot take, but it's probably going to be a bit competitive on the feet. I think DP is a better striker, but it's going to be a bit competitive. And my take is because of Islam having success on the feet, I feel like he's going to try. He's going to strike with Poirier a little bit. He's not going to just go out there and fucking wrestle his ass off because he's not scared to strike with him. He's just not. He trusts his striking, and even if he gets even if he gets Poirier down in the first round, I don't think that's the fight. I think he's going to finish him as the fight goes on. He's going to wear on him, take him down, and then he's going to find the finish round 2, round 3. That's probably how he win. But between the like him possibly get a sub in the round 3, for say, he's going to like strike for at least 5-6 minutes. And between between the time he strike with him, it's going to be a danger. I played the over 1.5 also to cover myself because I think Islam probably win over 1.5. So I'm gonna profit if that happen. But I play Poirier plus 457 and plus 500 for a unit. It's a big title fight, and you're not seeing big underdog like that in a title fight a lot of time. That's the biggest price we ever seen on Poirier entire career. He was, I think, plus 370 against Khabib. He's now plus 500 against Makhachev. I know he's not in his prime anymore, but it's not like he's washed. He has a meme guillotine upside. I don't think it's likely. But yeah, on the feet, he's just not a guy that you want to bet minus 700. You can't lay minus 700 against him, against anybody. I don't care. The grappling upside is big. I understand it. But like I said, he's not a fish off his back. I think he's just not gonna get taken down and submitted. That's his last chance to get a belt. And it's probably gonna sound crazy, but I think he really has some chances to get this done. And we have seen Sean Strickland be easy, plus 550. Odds were similar. Nobody gives him a chance. And when we see a big favorite like that nobody think the underdog is live, nobody gives him a chance, that's kind of where we see the upset. Like Sean Strickland, not a lot of people backed him. CDF 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, nobody wanted to bet him. Like nobody wanted to take that shot. And now Poirier plus 500. Like how wrong can I be? Like he's a fucking good striker. He has good power. He's fast. He's a southpaw. And yeah, I think he can get it done. So Gamrot's going to be in the corner. I know he's not the same style of Makhachev, but I still love Gamrot wrestling in general. I think it's good for him to have Gamrot in his corner. And I think another thing that probably people not thinking for this fight is Poirier talked about this in an interview that I've listened to. He already fought Khabib. He knows what to expect from this guy now. He talked about how strong Khabib was, and he was very surprised with the way he was positioning on the ground and the strength that he had. So I'm sure that he expects something similar from Makhachev, and maybe he's going to be able to prepare more for this fight. So yeah, you guys can go on and say Islam's going to submit him like every other podcast, but yeah, I'm willing to take the shot on the diamond at plus 500 and shine bright like a diamond. Let's go, bro.
I think that Dravhy would have a really good career in writing like kids' fairy tales book after his betting career, because that is what you're writing is a fairy tale. And you think that
Islam by sure, minus 125. Tell them, Peg.
Who is it again?
Makhachev by sub at minus 125. Tell them that's the play.
No. Well, no. Okay, ready? So I have 2 units on Islam by sub. Probably it's my biggest bet of the card. So I think it's one of those spots where like everyone's like, it's so square. It's square until it hits. I think that you see Coach Khabib, like all these other camps, Coach Khabib hasn't really been in the picture. We got Coach Khabib back. You watch the embedded videos. You're watching the mindset Islam has and, the wrestling camp that Khabib kind of set up here. He's going to get Dustin Poirier's back. He's going to take him down. He's going to get Dustin Poirier's back. And I'm more worried that he may smash him out instead of subbing him. But I think if the sub's there, Islam will definitely take it. I think he wants to look more dominant than anything here. You're right about I like what you said about the only scary thing about Islam is Islam likes to take chances in fights. Like Khabib didn't. Khabib was just like, yo, I'm going to go out and I'm going to smash. Islam is willing to take chances. He wants a flashy KO, stuff like that. I think he takes him down, submits him, makes it look easy, does it the same way Khabib does, just so he can say, we own Dustin Poirier. We, as the Dagestanis, own Dustin Poirier. We own his back. We own his neck. That's what it is. I think that's how it goes. I think Islam's going to smash him here. I'm just praying that he finishes him with a submission and not a KO. Key, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm a Dustin Poirier fan somewhat. But I mean, this is Islam sub. I'm pretty confident that Islam subs him. That's how I played it. I think that there's a point to prove. In terms of ways that this is different than Khabib, one, Khabib's ground and pound was relentless, and Islam is nothing of that sort. Two, Khabib, people don't realize, but Khabib really had one of the most elite chins in the division at the time. Like the shots that he was taking and his durability was second to none, honestly, in the division. I mean, he was just taking shots and he's just walking forward.
You didn't give a shit, bro. That's crazy.
What'd you say?
You didn't give a shit. That was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like it was pretty, like it's borderline scary. Some of the shit that he was doing, just walking guys down. And so I think that the way in which that he struck and the way in which the Islam strikes is completely different.
Sure.
Khabib is definitely more in your face jab. He's willing to actually get in the pocket to get to his wrestling. Islam is way more responsible defensively, maybe because he's already been chinned before. But he's just more technical in general. It's less of a dog pace and more technical, and so he can find his entries. I think that Islam is going to wrestle his ass off here. We've heard guys talk about how they're going to strike every fucking fight. If they're a grappler, they're going to strike. They're going to do this, and they've been making improvements. That shit is just garbage narrative, in my opinion. AKA and Javier Mendez has been saying the same shit about Islam forever, about his striking and how great of striking he has. And while it looked good against Volk in the second fight, people have to understand he chose and had to strike against Volk because Volk's takedown defense and counter wrestling was so great. Dustin has grandpa hips, like literal grandpa hips. His hips are terrible, like it's not fluid one bit at all. Michael Chandler's getting top time on him. Dan Hooker's getting top time on him. Like once he's down, that's the round. Like for sure, in my opinion. Gamrot in the corner isn't gonna do shit for you. I'm sorry.
Islam would smoke Gamrot too.
Yeah, like
both in the same night. Honestly.
I think that they've been working some wrestling defense for sure, but you can't make up for that for Dustin's hips. He's talked about multiple times how he's going to need hip replacements after fighting. His quality of life is probably going to be shit, honestly, in his later stages of life. But he's talked about needing hip replacements. People forget that the reason why that Nate Diaz fight got canceled was due to hip injuries, torn labrums, and all that different shit dealing with his hips. There's a reason he doesn't throw head kicks. There's a reason why we don't see a lot of kick volume in general out of DP outside of leg kicks and calf kicks. His hip fluidity is just absolute ass and garbage. And I mean, you can't blame him. I mean, he's an OG veteran in the game. It's just the wear and tear of the game. That's how it goes. I think that Islam it's gonna. I can't say what I want to say on stream, but yeah, Islam's gonna do nasty things to this guy. If he ground and pounds him, so fucking what? I'll take my L on the chin. I really don't care about feeling square or sharp. I like to think that my results this year are sharper than a lot of motherfuckers out here, so I don't really care what's square and what's sharp and what that definition is. I like a winning bet more than anything. And I think that while Dustin Poirier at plus 500 against anybody in this world is probably a decent bet 9 times out of 10, I think that this is the absolute worst matchup in the world for DP. Islam is smart. AKA always has good game plans for this guy. I'm not buying into a narrative that Islam is going to sit here and stand with more than 5-punch combination exchanges with DP. Like, let's be real here. That's not going to happen. If DP wants to catch him, he's going to have to catch him on an entry. And Islam does such a good job, especially whenever he's wrestling against the cage. His entries are so defensively responsible. I don't believe that this is a fight where DP is able to do anything, honestly. I think it's going to be a sad ending to a great career. And if he does decide to hang it up, I have a hard time believing that this is truly it. It may sound like it feels like a good narrative. I have a hard time believing that he doesn't get one more money fight to go out on and one more war, because I think that he does have one more in him. But Islam is going to do absolutely disgusting things to him. Call it square, call it sharp. I don't really give a fuck. It is what it is. But Islam, arm triangle, rear naked choke. DP tends to give up his back a lot. And people are forgetting, he was fucking mounted like multiple times against BSD. Like BSD was having success like on the ground. Like
he had 4 minutes and 30 seconds of control time on him.
I mean, he was passing very easily too. And like I said, Islam hasn't really pounded anybody out, nor is DP the guy. I mean, we're talking about this. If we're really buying into this tough, hardened veteran nature that DP has, he's not a guy that's getting pounded out anyways. There's going to be a sad story, but he's going to go 3 for 3 in all of his championship undisputed fights, getting subbed. And it's a sad ending, but I mean, there's no fucking fairy tales in MMA. So Islam sub.
I agree, and you know, I'm not gonna make fun of anyone for playing Dustin Poirier at plus 500. If you're gonna play a bet,
I think it's a low risk, all glory bet. I mean, shout out to anybody who does it. It's a low risk, high reward bet. You look like an amazing sharp if it cashes. If it doesn't hit, you just get to throw your hands up in there and have.
It's a classic. It's a classic. We're gonna throw a parade when it hits, and if it misses, oh my god, the value is there. How could you not take it? It's a sweat free bet if you would. That's kind of
anyway at plus 500. I mean, like it's a fucking big odds. We never see odds like that in the UFC almost. So,
plus 500 is a good bet, but I mean, it's just I just don't. For me, in my opinion, like there's other ways to play this. I think that the overs are solid. I think that Islam does ride him out into rounds 2 and 3. He is very patient on top. He does not rush things. Yeah. So I think round 2, round 3 subs are also good looks. But yeah, I think he gets the sub at the end of the day.
Yeah, obviously that's the most likely outcome. Like he's minus 700. I think you should submit him, but like I play the over 1.5 and DP. So if the fight goes over and he lose, I'm gonna profit a little bit. And if the fight goes over and you win, I'm gonna profit a lot. And if you just win, whatever, I'm going to profit. So the only way I lose money on this fight is if Islam finish him under 1.5, which I don't think is likely.
Yeah, I agree. All right, guys, that's the show. Let's run through our BTL parlay and get out of here. Drav, you start us off. What leg do you want?
Bro, fuck it. I'm going to go Sean Strickland, minus 240.
Love it. I love that. Okay, Key, how about you?
Cesar Almeida, minus 112.
And, money line, minus 112. What's the odds on that so far? Drav, if you got that open.
Plus 168.
Plus 168. Okay, so we just need a little bit more juice. Give me Basil Hafez money line.
Minus 285, so he gave us plus 262.
Okay. That's 285 money line. Plus 262?
Fuck, I just play it. Wait a minute. Yeah, I don't see the odds anymore. Fuck.
Yeah, let me see if I can get this in here. I'm gonna throw it together too, real quick.
No, I got it. It's all good. It's plus 262.
Plus 262. Okay. All right, cool. So, guys, again, that parlay is Sean Strickland money line minus 240. Basil Hafez minus 285, Cesar Almeida minus 112, plus 262 altogether parlayed. Again, thanks for joining us, guys. Glad we got together to do this for this card. I'll be away for next card or the show for next card. I guess we'll figure out if I'm going to try and record from Europe or if you guys are going to have to bring in a guest and do it that way. And why it's going to be funny, we'll have Dravhy pronounce all the names. I think it'll be good.
Look who's talking.
Oh, I know I'm bad, but wait till you have to do it and get on the mic and lead it like this every time. You'll see.
I mean, it's not even my first language. You're supposed to be better than me, bro.
Dude, I'm from New York, and
that's what I thought, bro.
But okay, guys, thanks for joining us. I'm Pegasus Picks. Follow me on Twitter. Follow my Telegram. Picks are always free. They'll be in there. The second I take them, I drop them in my Telegram. Key drop. I'll give you. You guys got 25 seconds for both of you to give your plug since you already did it in the beginning. Go.
Dub Club, $20 a month. Hit me up for 50% off first month. DFS scores, prize picks, book bets. We do it all. Good group, good community, good Discord. Come subscribe. Come have some fun.
Drop 11 seconds.
Yeah, Dravhy _ on Twitter. You can go click for the link on my Dub Club. I have some good spot that I like for this card. A lot of underdogs, actually. Some big plus money tickets. So we're gonna keep the wave rolling. I think I'm on 6-7 winning streak. So yeah, let's keep the train rolling. Join the services while it's hot. So yeah, man, I'm kind of excited for this card. Like, it's a pay-per-view. It's not the greatest of all time, but if we make money on it, then it's gonna be even more fun. So yeah, let's subscribe to the channel. Let's subscribe to the Dub Club so we all make money. We all do next videos with or without pay. We're gonna think about it.
All right, guys, enjoy. Everyone enjoy the rest of the week. We'll upload this tonight, and we'll have timestamps on Tuesday. All right, guys, peace.
Peg.